Good morning you guys, it's Karen and I'm here to do a review of this. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Instant FirmX Eye Temporary Eye Tightener. A lot of you guys had talked about this in comments and asked me if I was going to review it and told me that you'd tried it, and a few of you, in fact most of you, had said it was amazing, but I just heard Peter Thomas Roth eye cream and thought it was just an eye cream, you know, or instant FirmX. The instant should have given me a clue, but I just never looked into it. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, my curiosity was piqued and I had a look and I thought, well, let me give this a go. So when it arrived, I literally used it immediately over my makeup under my eyes and thought, this is exactly the same as the Wonder Eye serum that I reviewed 3 or 4 years ago, in that I thought, yes, it tightens up, but it leaves a huge amount of white residue. So I thought this is probably rubbish, but I watched a couple of videos on people applying it and there's a lot of people that love this, you know, so I was like, let me try again. And I tried again the next day. And obviously I didn't put it on over makeup. I cleaned up under my eyes and did nothing else to them but put this on with my finger. I did try it with a brush. It didn't work well for me with a brush. I just patted it on under my eyes. I will put a demo in for you. And I didn't use too much. You know, I made sure that I had smoothed it all out so that there was no, you need to make sure there's no concentrated amount anywhere, so that make sure you spread it out evenly. And I sort of kept my eyes open like this, you know, because you have to keep them expressionless in order for it to dry tight and without the wrinkles and the fine lines, you know. So I did that and I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And I was like, that's it, I love this, I'm going to use it every day. I don't need any concealer, because you can't use concealer on top of this. You can't use any cream products on top of this. You can't use foundation on top of it. And I think that's something that's always put me off this kind of product, because I was like, you know, I'm getting older, I'm not going to need less concealer as time goes on, you know. But what I did with this was I put it on, let it dry, and then put my foundation around it kind of here, and then under my eyes I used the ELF under eye powder, and it's absolutely fine with powder on top of it. Powder on top of it doesn't seem to make much difference at all, and I loved the result. Like I said, I was looking at the photos. I'd taken some photos with my iPhone and I was like, wow, like my eyes look young again, this is amazing. I then used it for a video. I think it wasn't the last video, because I was trying out the Ordinary concealer, it was the one before that, and I could see watching myself back on the screen that actually it still did when I was talking, you know. I was like, yeah, as I'm talking and pushing my skin up, then of course there are still going to be wrinkles there and I could see some problems with it. And I think I'm going to show you a picture. Let me show you that picture now of with and without this, but with me not smiling, so me just, you know, my straight normal face, if you like. So you can see in these pictures that the difference is just amazing. It's a real wow product. You can see that, you know, it's taken away pretty much 90% of the fine lines, the wrinkles, I don't know if it's taken away any darkness or puffiness, but it just looks lovely and smooth under my eye. So I can totally see why people fall in love with it. Now let me show you a picture of me smiling with and without this on, and I think you can then see that it almost makes it look worse, because I was thinking about it and I was like, it's almost like that, you know, if you put a really tight pair of jeans on, it distributes the fat of your stomach, you know. It's not just going to flatten it out, it's going to push it up, and that's where the saying muffin top comes from, you know, because it pushes the fat up and it comes over your jeans. And it's the same kind of thing with this. I feel like on that one eye, let me get the picture up just now so I can see what I'm talking about. I feel like on my right eye, so your left as you're looking at the screen, there's an area where you can see that there used to be wrinkles, but it's a little bit smooth, but I think there's more wrinkles underneath it than when I didn't have anything on it at all. I feel like it's almost pushed the wrinkles down further onto my cheeks. And in some ways it almost looks like it's cracking, because it is very, very tight. You know, this stuff kind of tightens your skin. So I thought that was very interesting. The final thing I'm going to do is put in a video side by side of me today with a close-up of my eyes. Hopefully the filming, I've got some footage that's good enough, because sometimes when you get closer, I found that with a lot of photos, you know, when I'm trying to find photos at close-up, it's not as good, but hopefully I can find some good footage to show you a side-by-side of me talking and doing a video, etc. And you should be able to see that actually, I think there is a little bit of difference. I think that there's a slight difference, but I think it just looks, it doesn't look as smooth as when you've just got a straight face, you know. And I think it's easier to see close up, you know, when I'm talking now, you can see that there's still, you can still see the dark circles. And actually when I talk, smile, you know, I'm expressive, it is bringing those lines, not only bringing them back up again, but sort of pushing them down a bit where it is staying tightened. So hopefully you can see from that although this is a really, really lovely, good, instant results product, it's only going to work if you want to take pictures without smiling too much. So you could probably, I can take pictures and sort of try and smile a little bit, but not lift my cheeks up too much, because then you can see where it's dry and sort of, like I said, it feels like it's almost cracking and the lines are just redistributed. And I haven't seen anybody else do a video where you can see them with this on. I know there's a few people, like I said, that are raving about it. This, by the way, is £32, so it is an awful lot of money. I'll tell you what their claims are, how they describe it. So this, well, that's the instructions are to apply a thin layer, which I would say, yes, you need to apply the smallest amount. Dries within 3 to 7 minutes. That's actually a long time. It says, when face feels pulled and tight, look in the mirror. This morning I probably haven't waited for as long as I should have for it to dry, because it doesn't feel quite as tight. The first time I used this properly, you know, where I didn't put it on top of foundation or anything, my eyes, I did feel like my eyes were kind of like this for the whole day. But like I said, when you actually move your eyes up, they do feel very, very tight. And I don't think I left it to dry for as long today, so I'll see if I can get some more footage. I'll maybe put it on tomorrow. Like I said, the only issue really is that it doesn't look, if you're doing this, if you're a YouTuber, I suppose is probably the biggest problem, because if you're standing talking to somebody, I think that it would probably be less noticeable, the wrinkles that it creates, because you're not going to be constantly smiling. You know, you might smile a little bit as you talk. So I think I'm not throwing this away and never using it again. I am going to use it a couple more times and see what I think, and see, you know, if I wait for longer until it tightens up, how bad is it here and how bad is it like at a distance, you know, rather than the problem with filming and being a YouTuber is you see yourself very close up and you can be very picky on what you can see and what you can't see, things that probably people wouldn't notice. So I need to ask my hubby what he thinks, and I bet you he'll just say, I can't see any difference. But if I put this on one eye and not on the other, he'd say, I can't see any difference. Okay, so you can see my lines and bags in full effect. I've done my eye makeup, and then I just used a cotton bud with micellar water to just take the makeup away from underneath. And so I'm now going to use my PTR serum. I will put this on both eyes. You see I have to rub it in quite a lot, which is one thing I don't like about it actually, because you have to really sort of, you know, move your skin around. But anyway, I have to rub it in and then wait between 3 and 7 minutes. So I will obviously do that off screen. And you have to try and keep your face straight while you're doing it. Like, it's no good if I was like this, because it would still, you know, that's how it would set. So you have to sort of, I have to do this, keep my mouth open and sort of really try and stretch my face. So I'll show you how much I'm going to use. I'm going to use a little bit more than I usually do, because I did film stuff for this. I did film this, but I don't feel like I used enough. But you have to be so careful to not use too much, because if you use too much, and you can tell that because you need to be able to rub it all in, if you use too much you get residue. You know, you end up with a white powder residue. I can see that already appearing. Okay, so that's about 5 minutes that I have waited, and you can actually feel it go really tight. You can feel the whole area sort of tighten up. If you do have any residue, white residue, you can just sort of brush it off with your fingers. You know, it sort of balls up a little bit and comes off. So you can see with my straight face, it's pretty much taken away all of the wrinkles on this side. There's one little under eye wrinkle there that it's not addressed, but you know, it's pretty smooth, isn't it? I don't know how much it's done for dark circles. I think it does brighten it a bit, but you can see that as soon as I start talking, to me it looks worse, you know. Although that said, somebody did comment on the video. I had this on in a video. I don't think I mentioned it, but somebody left a comment saying you look like you've got less wrinkles under your eyes. So I don't know. So I'm now just going to use, this is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. What I have been using under my eyes is the e.l.f. under eye setting powder, but I've run out. I only had a tiny little pot, and I use it with this Eco Tools brush. I don't know what this is. It says something setting, and this is probably an unnecessary step. It's just one that I enjoyed doing because it sort of brightens up even more, you know. Actually, this is even more brightening than the e.l.f. one. You can see there it's brightened it up quite a lot, hasn't it? And that's really all you need. That's it done. But like I said, as soon as I start talking, I feel like it just lets itself down because it's just looks all sort of cracked and wrinkly here. Not convinced I'm going to use this daily after having seen it a few times now on video and seeing it just now with these little bits there. That's everything. I will list all of my makeup in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.